So Anna Paulina Luna, not to be confused with Terra Luna, well, she just confirmed that Fed Chair Jerome Powell's firing is imminent. She said right here in a tweet that she's 99% sure the filing is imminent. Now, she's a congresswoman, so she definitely has some connections. And this just in with the Secretary of Treasury, Scott Bessent. He says a formal process has started to identify Jerome Powell's replacement.
You said previously the interview process would begin later on in the fall. There's been plenty of speculation as to whether that process would be brought forward. Mr. Secretary, do you still, as far as you understand, believe that's when the interview process to replace the Fed chair will begin in the fall, or has a formal process already started?
Well, look, there's a formal process that's already starting. There are a lot of great candidates, and we'll see how rapidly it progresses. It's President Trump's decision, and it will move at his speed.
On top of this news, Donald Trump posted this yesterday talking about the Genius Act, and it was denied at first, but now it's official. The U.S. House has passed this legislation with all Republicans voting yay.
On this vote, the yeas are 215 and the nays are 211. The motion is adopted.
So in today's video, we have to talk about what's about to happen to the crypto market for Ripple, for XRP, what's happening right now on the price chart. Also, what I talked about in yesterday's video with an altcoin that is like the bat signal for alt season, Ethereum taking off, and what's happening right now with Ethereum breaking out, and what that's going to do for the total altcoin market cap. On top of that, Bitcoin's dominance, and how to properly position yourself so you can benefit before the wave of institutional and retail money flows to large caps and small caps. That way you do not miss out on the major money moves that are about to take place in the crypto market over the next few months, so you can make as much money as possible and have as much freedom as possible by the end of this bull run. So you guys are going to love this video. Comment 777 if you're feeling blessed, if you're feeling bullish, and as always, if you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree, you know what to do. Confirm it by tapping the subscribe button. Let's run it. Hey, what's up, my friend? Nick here. Quick heads up for all you smart investors watching this. If you love to see your crypto actually working for you, earning passive income every single day on your coins, we're putting together something really cool. On July 20th, we're running our first ever free online event challenge. It's called the Crypto Passive Cash Flow Challenge. And it's basically 3 days where you'll learn our DeFi strategies we use to safely earn passive yield on our coins 24/7, even while we sleep. And some people are doing crazy numbers with this strategy alone. And if you had some coins that you're just holding on to, you should join us and discover how to put them to work. We've never done anything like this publicly before, and we probably won't ever do it again. So it's completely free, but we might have to limit spots to keep the quality high and give everyone proper attention with the size of our YouTube channel, over 360,000 subscribers now. So if you want in, just click the link below this video, grab your spot while you can, and now back to the video. All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So Bitcoin's over 119K, XRP's back above $3. Ethereum has been exploding over the past 7 days, up 22% alongside XRP and a select few altcoins. So we have a jam-packed video today because this is going to be extremely bullish. Similar to what happened with Gary Gensler, where Gary Gensler stepped down, we could potentially see Jerome Powell resign before, he gets fired because of what's taking place right now with him and Trump and Jerome not wanting to lower interest rates. So if Anna Paulina is correct and she's 99% sure firing is imminent, then the Federal Reserve is about to can Jerome Powell. And either way, his term is up in 2026. So this guy is going to get out of office. There's a 100% guarantee of it. It's just a matter of when. Will it happen before the end of this year, early 2026? I would not be surprised if it happens within the next month or two, because of how adamant Trump has been about lowering interest rates. There's 13 days, 22 hours until the next FOMC meeting, and 97% are expecting to keep rates current. And it is until the 17th of September's meeting where 56% are expecting a rate cut. So it's still, kind of close to 50-50, whether it's current or there's going to be a rate cut by the September meeting. And then the next meeting is the 29th of October. We should be experiencing rate cuts by then. So if the crypto market is pumping like this before they've even started rate cuts, this goes back to what I said in previous videos, where the expectations of rate cuts is what creates market moves. People love to buy or sell rumors of what's to come. And then when the event actually takes place, well, then it's an either sell or buy the news scenario. So in this case, it potentially might be a sell the news scenario when they finally do cut rates over the next few months. So until then, the markets are looking good. And with Trump talking about crypto week, with the House passing these Bitcoin and crypto bills. This is extremely bullish for altcoins like XRP because remember, the Genius Act will rapidly accelerate XRP's reintegration into the US financial markets, which will support its price by attracting institutional investors. Because of Ripple's stablecoin RLUSD, on top of that, this just in, Ripple custody partners with Control Alt and the Dubai Land Department to deliver scalable and secure storage for the Dubai Land Department's tokenized real estate title deeds, which have been issued on the XRP ledger, enabling fractional ownership, transparency, and global access to Dubai's real estate market. And Dubai's real estate market is absolutely massive and continues to grow. I'll actually be in Dubai in about 4 days from right now. And specifically, the real estate market over there saw over 163,000 transactions, totaling over 148 billion US dollars in the first 9 months of 2024. And that just keeps expanding and expanding. Now, that's insane because I live in Miami, Florida. There's a lot of big buildings out here, but it is nothing compared to Dubai. If you go from the freeway all the way down to the hotels by the Palm Jumeirah, it's just miles of skyscrapers. And so the billion-dollar or trillion-dollar families that are building out there just keep expanding over in the Middle East. And Ripple has positioned themselves in the Middle East to absolutely dominate. And to top it off, most of you guys remember when Brad Garlinghouse and Stuart Alderati met with Donald Trump, and he posted this saying, "Great dinner last night with Trump." This was January. And Stuart said, and to top it off, the beef bourguignon was really good. Beef bourguignon is often used as a metaphor to symbolize a successful business deal, where serving the dish signifies the closing of a significant contract due to its association with high-end dining and celebratory nature of the rich, slow-cooked dish. So they've been cooking something up behind the scenes. And once they reveal that news, and the smart investors that understand this are buying the rumors of once they release the news. So that's why XRP has gone from, $2 upwards of $3 right now, and we're still below the all-time high. So XRP in terms of risk-to-reward ratio is absolutely incredible. Now, in a previous video, I talked about how XRP could consolidate within this region if we experience a short-term pullback. But, you just got to buckle your seatbelts for if we don't. If we blast through the all-time high, that would be absolutely incredible. Ideally, I would hope for a pullback to accumulate some XRP. Because at these levels right here at 82 on the relative strength index and above 90 on the stochastic RSI and the daily chart, I personally just don't like accumulating these levels in overbought conditions, even though I think XRP is going to go much higher than this over the next few months. Like I said in previous videos, I like to accumulate when we're in oversold conditions on these key indicators down at levels like this. Now, that only comes every once in a while because the last time we were down here was on the 22nd of June, over 3 weeks ago. And then the time before then was all the way down here back in April. So if you don't capitalize on opportunistic moments like this to be able to buy the dip, then there are ways where you can still benefit to earn passive income on your crypto while the market continues to break out without selling your coins. And I'll share that with you in a little bit. But here's something that's really important to note on top of what's happening for XRP. It's what took place with Ethereum, okay? 19 hours ago, I made this video. I talked about this breakout for Ethereum when Ethereum was at $3,065. And now Ethereum's at $3,364. This is a massive move for Ethereum. And I think it's going back to its all-time high and even beyond its all-time high that it rallied to multiple times ever since like the 11th of March right here. We went back up, got rejected from it right here in about May of 2024. Then by December of 2024, we double topped right there again. So it's inevitable for Ethereum and the rest of the altcoin industry to come back up to levels that it was at all the way back here in early 2025 in January and late 2024 back here in December, because this move for Ethereum and XRP and the rest of the large caps is what's moving total too, which is the crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin. So we have a magnet here right at this level at $1.55 trillion that the market is going to march up to, forming higher highs and higher lows. Because as you can see right here, since the 19th of January, we were just forming lower highs and we were forming lower lows after December going into 2025. And this is a falling wedge. And so the target for a falling wedge is the top of the wedge. That's $1.55 trillion to $1.65 trillion. That's the next stop for the market. So we're at $1.38 trillion. I still believe there's higher to go before we experience a much bigger consolidation phase. And what that would look like would be a cup and handle formation. So right now we are finishing up the cup, moving into this level right here. And then we would go through some type of consolidation phase before breaking to the upside. And so the target for total 2 is basically the depth of this cup once it finishes if we complete the cup and handle formation. Now, we would just simply measure from right here to a breakout point, which would pretty much be right here at like $1.55 or $1.65 trillion. And so if we look to the upside, that's about $2.46 to about $2.5 trillion for the altcoin market, which is a 2x from where we are right now. So I think that's definitely possible. And not only do I think it's possible, I think it's probable, and it's the most likely scenario to happen as Bitcoin dominance breaks down. Because if we zoom out here, you guys can see Bitcoin's dominance has been in this uptrend, forming higher highs and higher lows since June of 2023, when we broke out above 48%, we've just been climbing rapidly. And so with this recent pullback from 66% to 63%, while total 2 breaks out back to the previous high, I think it's the smartest move to be in large cap altcoins until that rotation really takes place on this breakdown. Now, again, not financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy. I'm not telling you to sell anything. I'm just bringing you the facts, the news, speculation, education, entertainment, and then what you choose to do is up to you because crypto's risky. So here's the facts. Ethereum to Bitcoin's price chart bottomed out right here, and we just recently broke this resistance that Ethereum has been below since March of 2025. So as we just broke this level and we start the first initial breakout of this major trend reversal right here for Ethereum relative to Bitcoin, while Bitcoin's dominance starts to break down, it's definitely normal for us to see some type of backtest consolidation on it before continuing to the upside. So just be prepared for some type of pullback depending on how high we go in the short term. Some type of consolidation phase here soon, because right now on the stochastic, we're above 80 right here. And on the relative strength index, we're at 79. So we could push all the way up to like 80, 90. Nobody knows how high this goes on these key indicators and how high Ethereum goes relative to Bitcoin. But if we just look at Ethereum to the US dollar price chart and measure how far off we are from the previous high, we're about 21% to the upside. So this would be, in my opinion, where Ethereum ultimately cools down to consolidate for a bit before we inevitably break to the upside above the all-time high, when Bitcoin's dominance really starts to crank downwards. And that would be extremely bullish for XRP as well too, and the rest of the industry. Because when we look at Bitcoin's market cap dominance compared to total 2 at the bottom of the screen, look back here at January 2021, when Bitcoin's dominance topped upwards of 73%, the whole altcoin market had just started breaking out from the COVID lows, marching higher, and it was at about $230 billion. Once Bitcoin's dominance dropped, then we made an aggressive move past the all-time high to $1.5 trillion. So currently, since March of this year, we've just been waddling sideways and ranging between $750 billion and $1.7 trillion beneath the high of 2021 for the altcoin market, while Bitcoin's dominance has been trending up. And so this would be the major catalyst for alt season, is Bitcoin's dominance to break this macro uptrend, this ascending support. And once we see a drop below 60%, in my opinion, while the altcoin market is at the previous high of 2021, then I think we would start to see a move similar to what happened here back in late 2020, early 2021 for Q4 of this year. And so this picture right here that you guys have seen about the path to alt season, a lot of people thought that it just wasn't going to happen because phase 1, the flow of money moving into Bitcoin causing a price surge, took place. But there wasn't really a phase overlap with money flowing into Ethereum to keep up with Bitcoin, where Ethereum goes back and forth with Bitcoin and starts outperforming it. Because when you look at the Ethereum to Bitcoin price chart, it's just been getting obliterated since 2021 and 2022, forming lower highs and lower lows. But with this recent reversal right here with a higher high, we just now need to form a higher low than this low right here. Because as you know, a trend reversal is a series of higher highs and higher lows than the previous trend, because we were forming lower highs and lower lows, and this was just a series of lower highs, but we formed the first higher low right here on the 24th of June, and now we're putting in a higher high right now. We just need to simply put in a higher low, ultimately holding on top of these highs right here. And so even if we see a pullback in the short term, this is a trend reversal in my opinion, as long as we don't put in a lower low than right here. So this is looking extremely bullish for Ethereum and the rest of the altcoin market, because phase 2 is Ethereum outperforms Bitcoin and we hear talks of the flippening. Now, the talks of the flippening would be more so XRP flipping Ethereum for this bull run cycle because of what's happening right now with Ripple's partnerships, RLUSD, the SEC finishing up their lawsuit, XRP ETFs. Ethereum ETFs are already out there. There's no lawsuit against Ethereum, so there's much more bullish news for XRP in my opinion. But with Ethereum experiencing this massive liquidity injection, this is just good for the whole altcoin industry, because then money starts to flow into large caps where we see large overlaps and buy-ups happening of the top 10, which we've been seeing because the past 7 days, Ethereum's up 22%, Bitcoin's only up 6.88%, XRP's up 26%, Solana's up 10%, Dogecoin 18%, Cardano 23%, Hyperliquid 18%, even XLM guys 60% the past week. Sui's up 32%, HBAR up 38%. And then if we get further and further down the list, you can see a lot of mid caps as well too, up anywhere from 3%, 10%, 30%. So regardless of market cap, as we get further and further into the end of this bull run, some altcoins with strong fundamentals are going to have pumps. And then phase 4 of alt season is large caps have gone fully vertical past the all-time highs, and we're seeing blow off tops from thrill into euphoria stage of the market cycle where everyone thinks they're a genius and they're going to be rich forever. So we don't end a bull run in anger or depression or even disbelief. We end it in thrill and euphoria. So right now, if we just look at total twos chart right here, we're not in euphoria. We're below the previous high of 2021, and we're starting to build momentum back to that high in this massive cup and handle formation right now. Once we finally breach the all-time high and start to go vertical for altcoins, similar to what happened all the way back here, then we'll be going into the optimism, belief, thrill, and euphoria stage. Because right now, if we go to trends.google.com and we type in crypto, and we look over the past 12 months, well, right now we're 56 out of 100. We're not at 100 out of 100. We're not all the way up here like we were in January 19th through the 25th of this year when we were 100 out of 100. And if we look right here on the chart of what was happening January 19th through the 25th, well, the market cap of the industry was right here at $1.5 trillion at the complacency stage high before the sell-off took place from January to April. So for 2 to 3 months, we sold off after the interest on Google Trends topped out at 100 out of 100. So the fact that we're 56 right now is showing that this rally is not finished yet. Because I think we're going from hope to optimism as we start to build up pressure back to the high. And then when we go from optimism to euphoria and we go vertical, that's usually like 30 days or less. So what's frustrating about crypto for the average investor is they have to wait through this entire process right here, which takes years. This is 945 days since the bottom. And then in a matter of like 1 month when the markets finally do break the high, we just see like in 30 days, 30 to 90 days really, the markets absolutely erupt to the upside in like 2x or 3x really quick. And so once we finally break the high and we go vertical, it's going to happen very, very quick and you don't have much time to prepare. So during this phase right here where we're starting to coil up, right here getting back to the all-time high, it reminds me of what happens here between hope and optimism. And even if I pair this up on the chart, you can just see this right here. After the bear market bottom in December of 2022, we rallied up and we went through this major disbelief rally right here where everyone thought it was going to fail just like the others. And then boom, we break out into hope where people think a recovery is possible. We're coming back up to $1.26 trillion right here to back test where we were back in April of 2022 for the complacency stage high. And then what happens? We experience a massive sell-off and then boom, we go into optimism. People think the rally is real. We start to break out up here. People think it's possible to start making money in crypto again, but we're not in belief because we have not passed the high of November of 2021. So we're building up pressure right here. Once we finally break out and we go into belief right here, like I just said, it's going to happen very, very fast. And we don't know how much longer we have in this bull run, but once this breakout takes place and we find a top somewhere up here, and then we go into this complacency stage, we're going to come back down again. And you do not want to get caught buying all the way up here after the breakout and then going through this whole complacency stage where you're going to be thinking to yourself, we just need to cool off for the next rally and I'm holding good projects. They're going to make a recovery when we're at the top. And then you have to go through anxiety, denial, panic, capitulation again, anger, and then depression, having to wait for another disbelief rally and then another market cycle in like 2030. You need to take advantage right now while there's still time because there's tons of altcoins that you can capitalize on to still make money. Now, to be able to capitalize, I highly encourage you to attend our live event that's taking place July 20th through July 22nd. We're going to be showing you how to safely turn your crypto portfolio into passive daily cash flow, no matter market conditions. Throughout 3 live sessions, we're actually doing 6 sessions. 3 of them are going to be VIP. We're going to reveal our exact DeFi system that our research team uses to beat traditional market returns without watching charts all day or losing sleep over volatility. I'll leave a link in the description below. Check that out. Get your ticket. You can see what, when, and why over the course of these 3 days, starting July 20th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The VIP session will be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for each day. So if you guys want to get a VIP ticket, then that will be on the other side. The 8 p.m. slots, you can get your free ticket right here. I'll leave that as the first link in the description below. And if you want to see what altcoin picks our research team is the most bullish on, that is going to see that flow of capital as we transition from phase 2 of Ethereum breaking out into phase 3 and phase 4 towards the tail end of alt season, then join Altcoin Pro University below, go into the community section, click on more right here and click on altcoin picks, and you'll be able to stay tapped in and stay plugged in for when those picks are dropped. For example, Our research team posted GOAT on the 13th of October of 2024 when it was right at a penny, and since then it rallied to over $1, 5,000%. That's like turning $1,000 into over $50,000. Our team called Pendle at only a $16 million market cap, or 16 cents, back on February 18th of 2023, all the way back here, and since then it's rallied up over 4,000%. That's a 40x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $40,000. Our team also called BitTensor Tau September 15th, 2022, before the token was ever even launched. And since then, Tau has rallied over 2,000%. That's a 20x. Our team even said Solana is most likely to be one of the easiest trades next year, and this was posted December 29th, 2022, on the day that Solana bottomed out at around $8. And since then, Solana looks like it's up over 2,500%. That's a 25x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $25,000. The list goes on and on and on. Our team called Sui, Ondo, and even some of the biggest cult-based meme coins like MOG back in July 20th of 2023, the day that MOG launched. So if you want to learn how our team is finding these altcoins before they explode, we just launched Altcoin Pro University, where our research team gives you real-time altcoin picks with explosive potential for this bull run, along with 100+ expert curated classes crafted by industry experts to discover these gems yourself, on top of our live weekly calls every single week for in-depth crypto market analysis and daily updates. And that's just a fraction of what we offer inside of Altcoin Pro University through the link below. And although we make no guarantees because crypto is definitely risky, guys, this is only $97 a month or $970 a year. If you want to save $194, getting 2 months for free and unlock some exclusive bonuses, just go through the link in the description below. Get in right now. Watch the 26-minute video covering everything that Altcoin Pro University offers to help you become the first millionaire in your family tree, if that's a goal of yours. And you can get started through the link in the description below right now, or you can go to bullrunners.com to take advantage of the bonuses we're giving you before they expire. Everyone is loving the community. They're loving the education. They're getting access to real-time altcoin picks first before we ever make videos about them. So click the link in the description below, watch the video, and I'll see you on the inside.